day, another dollar, as my father always said. This Maryland branch of the Second Bank of the United States seems to be benefiting this country in many ways. Enough of the states issuing their own forms of currency. We Americans need unity on all fronts. What could possibly go wrong?
Unknown to McCulloch, many things would go wrong. Remembering this case sends chills down my spine. Yet, I know it is important to reveal it to all who can bear it. This case represents country versus state, power over pride. Here's my most difficult case to date, McCulloch versus Maryland. It was 1818, and John James was about to meet with me to discuss issues regarding the Second Bank of the United States.
Thank you for meeting me on such short notice. This is a very important matter. I needed some professional advice.
Of course, take a seat.
I believe that this bank poses a grave problem for all the states in the country.
I don't like to meddle in politics. Give me a reason as to why I should take my time to help you.
3, for the price of 1. 1, state banks cannot compete with those elitist federal banks. 2, their managers reek of corruption. And 3, the federal government is exerting way too much power over the states. There's a limit to what they can and cannot do. And this Maryland branch definitely crosses a line.
Seems like you have your mind set against this bank, but I have a bad feeling about this.
What's this? Maryland General Assembly passes an act to impose a tax on all banks not chartered by the legislature? All banks such as these must pay an annual tax of $15,000? That's 3 zeros. Well, I refuse to follow such a ridiculous law. National banks have every right to issue credit and money. They can do as they please.
What's this? A letter from the state of Maryland? I'm being sued by John James for not paying the taxes placed on my bank? I won't go down without a fight. If it's a trial they want, it's a trial they'll get.
Your Honor, this trial goes against the very meaning of the Constitution. How can a state such as Maryland tax a national bank? Their claim is solely based on wanting more state power, not to earn justice.
How can the other side speak on behalf of the Constitution, Your Honor? If the federal government has the authority over the national bank, then why can't Maryland do the same? Of course, this is ignoring the bigger issue on hand, which is that the Constitution does not even grant Congress the power to establish a national bank in the United States in the first place.
Settle down, settle down. The Court of Maryland has made its decision. The Constitution has no explicit ruling on the creation of national banks. Thus, the creation of the Second National Bank of the United States is unconstitutional, and the tax upon it is valid. Mr. McCulloch will pay a fine of $2,500. Court is adjourned.
How awful. Maryland is arguing that the Constitution does not allow for the creation of national banks, which destroys any argument that we have. If the bank is illegal, how can we defend it?
Well, I'm not giving up without a fight. If the Court of Appeals won't hear my case, I'm taking this all the way to the Supreme Court.
I couldn't help but overhear the conversation, and I've been keeping up with the case from the start. I'd like to offer my services.
As you probably know, I'm a little short on money.
The only repayal that I want is you winning the Supreme Court.
Why should we trust you?
Because me and many other people are sick and tired of greedy men and power-hungry states running this country. I want to help you. Let's keep in touch.
In the following weeks, McCulloch faced another defeat at the Court of Appeals. However, with my help, he ended up getting a trial at the Supreme Court. From February 21st to March 3rd, the two sides argued intensely to win over Judge Marshall. On March 6, 1819, the decision finally came.
All rise. The Supreme Court is now in session. The Honorable Chief Justice Marshall presiding.
You all may be seated.
I have listened to both sides of the case and have pondered greatly over the situation. Both sides make a very compelling argument, with the main issue being whether it is constitutional or not for Congress to charter a national bank.
Looks like Judge Marshall understands Maryland's grievances. Well, McCulloch?
Not so fast. Under unanimous decision, the Supreme Court has decided that it is constitutional for a national bank to exist. However, it is unconstitutional for the taxation of this national bank.
And how on earth have you come to this conclusion?
I have reviewed the Constitution in great depth and have found that the necessary and proper clause under Article 1, Section 8 grants Congress the power to pass laws that will help it execute its enumerated powers. That includes interstate commerce. Thus, a national bank is constitutional.
I knew it.
Secondly, Maryland has no power to tax the national bank, as under the Supremacy Clause of Article 6 of the Constitution, federal laws supersede state laws. Maryland's power to tax is the power to destroy. This court holds that the sovereignty of our nation lies within all of its citizens, not just people from select states. This tax that has been imposed only serves the select few from certain states. They have no right to make decisions for us all. My decision is final. The court is adjourned.
Well done, John. I knew you'd make the right choice.
Thank you, Detective Donsu. Without your push in the right direction, I don't believe I could have came to this decision. Truly, justice is written before us all.
I feel today will go down in history. It marks Congress's implied powers that are not explicitly stated in the Constitution. As long as the law is necessary and proper, Congress can do as they please. The federal government will have increased power in running this country from today and forward.
You're right about that. Surely, I believe that this case will go down in history, and it will show that federal government has the power to trump over the state government. I don't think that there will be any Maryland copycats in the future.
I sure hope not.
0, 0. I have to pay 0 zeros. No fine for me.